Yeah, that's better. You can get it. Marvelous.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the channel, y'all. And look. All I have to say is, what the fuck is this meta?
What was that?
You heard me right. What the fuck is this meta? I mean, this meta just looks like some of the most randomest decks I've ever seen in my life. You guys don't see it all, but actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get straight into it. All I need to say is there's a whole bunch of fraudulent activity going on in the streets right now. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. For our 10th ranking deck, you heard me right. For our 10th ranking deck, we have none other than Red Zoro. These are all first place lists that the West has, you know, gotten over the past weekend with these being legal. I'm gonna be real with you, Zoro. Any deck that's really good into UP Luffy, you're really gonna have a good time. We don't really need to break down. Look, if it's not new, we're not gonna really be breaking down any old shit. Classic aggro deck that's good into the best deck. My personal opinion, the best deck in the format, even though UP Luffy may not be number one. Now you guys are confused. Now you guys are scratching your head. What is the number one? This is why the fucking this rank system is kind of fucked up, because we all know UP Luffy's number one, but for some reason the rank system, no on here, no, that's not number one. So let's go ahead and read Zoro's stats, so we go ahead and go straight about our day. So Zoro is sitting at 10th place, playing 320 games. Wow. Okay, 162 wins, 158 losses, sitting at 7.80 rating with a 50.62 win percentage. Zoro's actually a very good deck. It actually won Japan CS last weekend against Green Zoro. It's a really good deck. As long as UP Luffy or it's an aggro meta, Zoro's going to be here. And yeah, that's all we have about Zoro. We're not going to go over this deck. Anything old, we're not going to go over it, and that's just me being honest with you. For our 9th placing deck, we have none other than Green Yellow Law. This is one of the best decks in my personal opinion. If I did not play BY Luffy, this would personally be my main deck, just because it's a very combo centric deck. Once BY Luffy does go out of the meta, this is more than likely what I will be playing, because it does have some crazy ball removal in this deck with this Zeus. You guys are probably wondering, why is this deck so much better in OP11? We'll get to that. Let's go ahead and read Green Yellow Law stats. Green Yellow Law has played 1,066 matches with 498 wins with 568 losses, sitting at 7.84 rating with a 46.72 win percentage. Look, I'm okay with this win percentage being low, because this is one of the hardest decks in the game to play. I feel like the 3 hardest decks in this particular game to play is this deck that you guys see on the screen right now, Blackbeard and BY Luffy. Very combo centric deck. This particular card, from what I've been seeing, what I've been hearing in the streets, that if you guys can really hinder that UP Luffy from skipping their 8 dawn turn with this Jewelry Bonnie, you're gonna have a very good time. And also being able to aggro down the UP Luffy with the Hody Jones is very shice. And another thing, the reason why this deck is really starting to see a little bit more play is because of this Capone Beige. This Capone Beige did come out of OP11. It's a blocker once per turn. If you have a Supernovas type character other than Capone Beige that will be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may add the character to the top of your life, so pretty much replenishing a card back to your life if a Supernova would be removed. Very shice. And yeah, this deck is a very good combo deck. Like I said earlier, if I did not particularly play BY Luffy, this would be my main deck. And if you guys are a Green Yellow Law players, I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you. It's YGOD, Yellow Ganga Da, YGOD. Shout out to all my delinquents. I'm rooting for y'all. Y'all need to start spinning. BY Luffy ain't here, but as long as y'all, one of my favorite combo decks is here. Put in some work for the game, man. Put some work in for us, man. For our 8th topping deck, our 8th ranked deck for our OP11 week 0 format on the sim is Bellow Betty. We're not going to go over Bellow Betty too much. We've been seeing so much Bellow Betty. Nothing was actually added from OP11 as well. So with that being said, we're not going to really even go over this deck at all. Only card we're really going to go over is this card. If you guys can really just summon this card into UP Luffy, dropping down its power, you're really going to have a good time. And don't let you have two. You're really going to be spinning on top of this leader effect, just being able to boost everything that's a rebel army by 3000 power, you're going to be in for a very good time. We're not going to waste too much time on this particular card because, like I said earlier, anything old we're not going to go over, but we'll read the stats. We'll go on to our 7th best deck of the format. Bellow Betty, red yellow Bellow Betty, has played 487 matches, 249 wins, 238 losses, sitting at 7.90 rating, game rating, and with a 51.13% win rate. So like I said earlier, as long as UP Luffy is going to be here, this deck will be in the meta. And yeah, it's just very good counter to UP Luffy. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and get straight to our 7th best deck, our 7th top ranking deck of our OP11 week 0 power rankings, and that's none other than Bonnie. Bonnie is just doing Bonnie things. Like I said earlier, anything that is older, we're not going to really be briefly going over it. If you guys don't know what Bonnie does, go to any other of one of my other power rankings for the sim. I've talked about Bonnie so much, just being able to end off games, the Hody Jones ball removal with the shanks, building up the wall, and really stunning your opponent with this kid, this Dofi, and also this carrot. And you can never go wrong with a green Cavendish and a green deck. I'm not going to talk too much about Bonnie. You guys know what Bonnie does. Let's go ahead and read Bonnie stats. Bonnie, 7th place, has played 500 matches with 269 wins, with 231 losses, sitting at an 8.02 rating with a 53.8% win rate. Bonnie doing Bonnie things. Like I said earlier, as long as this leader still has its effect with no Radas or nerf or anything like that going on with this deck, this deck is always going to be good. The only time this deck is really going to fall off is when block 1 gets out of rotation and this card is gone, and I feel like every green deck is going to suck monkey balls. I mean, that's literally just what it is at this point, so enjoy it while you can. This card's going to be gone by next March, April. Let's go to get to our 6th best deck of our week 0 OP11 power rankings, and that's none other than Blackbeard. Blackbeard is doing Blackbeard things. Like I said about all my other decks that are previously mentioned in this video, anything old, we're not going to be going over it. And when we're just actually looking at a Blackbeard list, let's just go over all these cards again. There's nothing new from the OP, I mean, not the structure, I was about to say OP11, but the structure decks. And this is actually a 1st place list from our Western meta that we did find on the One Piece card game, One Piece top decks, I'm sorry. So I don't know if this is just an older list, or I don't know what the case may be, but from what I'm seeing right now, Blackbeard's not playing nothing new from the structure deck. So that being said, since this is an older deck, let's go ahead and read its stats. Blackbeard's 6th place, it's played 1,926 matches with 904 wins, with 1,022 losses, sitting at an 8.03 rating with a 46.94 win percentage. Like I said earlier, this is one of the hardest decks of the game to play, so I can understand why you know, it has a losing percentage, you know, losing win percentage. Most people in the West have a hard time playing complicated and hard decks. That's just what it is, and it's actually shown by facts. Okay, so anything that challenges you guys and makes you actually think, you just don't play a monster and pass the turn, you're going to expect pretty much a lower win percentage, because people over here in the West just don't know how to concentrate hard enough. I don't know what the case may be, but whatever it is, 6th place, congratulations to you, Blackbeard. Let's go to get to our 5th best deck. Our 5th best deck is none other than Plofy. Plofy is doing Plofy things. Plofy has not changed. Plofy is still the same since OP09. So let's be real, I'm not going to read nothing that Plofy does, just being able to cheat out characters. Actually, he's not even running the Luffy Taro when I start thinking about it. He's not even running the Luffy Taro. He's not even running the Singaro. This is some crazy ass different build I haven't seen before. Only thing that he is running new is the Katakuri, and outside of that, I don't really see anything else that's pretty much new. The only thing that different is this Katakuri. Anything that's purple really is going to be playing this Katakuri. This Katakuri is absolutely cracked out of its mind. And to be real with you, nothing else has changed in this Plofy deck. Okay, let's go ahead and read Plofy stats and go about our day. Plofy has played 819 matches with 464 wins with 355 losses, sitting at an 8.12 rating with a 56.65 win percentage. Plofy doing Plofy things, and as long as you guys can cheat out characters, it's really good into UP Luffy. So let's go ahead and get to our 4th best deck. Our 4th best deck is none other than the Fraud himself. Before we actually even talk about the stats with anything with this deck, I thought this deck was the deck of all decks. I thought this deck was going to be UP Luffy's worst nightmare. I thought this deck was supposed to be the you know, an S tier deck, top of A tier deck. When we just look at the bottom of the screen, you guys see it on the bottom screen, it's actually the third most losing deck, and it's nowhere as hard as it is to play compared to Blackbeard or green yellow laws. So what happened? What happened? Already week 1, and I'm already detecting a...
Do you smell it? That smell. A kind of smelly smell. A smelly smell that smells smelly.
You smell that fraud? I smell the fraud. We're not gonna have a fraud alert. We're going to wait until there's an actual event before we start calling this a fraud, because by the way it looks right now, this is starting to look like a fraud. This is supposed to be the deck that pretty much runs over UP Luffy, and it's not even at the top 3 deck. The only reason why it's being played at this point, it does have the 3rd most games played because it's new and everybody wants Buggy. That is the only reason why this deck is up here, and it shows by its win rate. Let's go over its stats, then we're going to go about our day. We'll read some cards as well, but let's go over the stats here real quick. Buggy has played 2,591 matches. It has won 1,269 wins with 1,322 losses, sitting at 8.20 win percent, or rating, I'm sorry, with a 48.98 win percentage. Like I said earlier, this deck is all hype. I'm still going to call it hype. I'm still going to call it fraud because people are calling this S tier deck. This is going to be the deck that's going to be pretty much beating everything in the format, in the game, with aggro UP Luffy being here. The main reason why is because of this particular Buggy being able to flood the board and bottom deck anything on the board. If you guys do have 5 characters on the board, and allows this to save very size. This is pretty much a red rock, built-in red rock. But in a nutshell, this deck pretty much has blanket board protection with I think it's this one. It's one of these cards that have blanket board protection. I forgot which one it is. So here's the card. So I found it. This is the card that literally protects any of your cross skill characters from being removed from play. Let's go ahead and read it real quick. Crocodile Mihawk, once per turn, if your cross skill type character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may trash 1 card from your hand instead. So this adds a blanket protection for any of your cross skill characters on the board, on top of this card not being able to be removed. So these two really go in tandem. This did come out of the brand new structure deck. This is the reason why board removal isn't really that good into this deck, especially if they can really stack these you know, over and over again. But the biggest thing about this deck is really just cheating out a lot of bodies. That's pretty much what this deck is. If you guys remember Plofy, on top of all the draw that's in this particular deck, it has a lot of draw power, it has blanket protection, and you just cheat out bodies such as this Buggy right here. Activate main, you may trash 1 card from your hand and trash this character. If your leader is Buggy, play up to 1 cross skill type character card with a cost 6 or less from your hand. So this kind of reminds you of Plofy. This is pretty much just what it is. Plofy, leader effect, cheats out characters. This Buggy cheats out characters. This has blanket protection, and yeah, and this has blanket protection right here with a crazy amount of draw power in your deck as well. On top of this, just being able to cheat out another character. So if you guys do like cheating out characters, I ain't gonna hold you. This deck is pretty decent, but it's still on fraud alert because everybody told me this is an S tier deck. This is going to be the deck to be. UP Luffy's definitely is going to be put in a pack with this deck, and it's I don't see it. I'll give you 2 weeks so everybody just starts going on UP Luffy. Still a fraud in my eyes. And yeah, that's all I got for Buggy. Let's go ahead and get straight to our 3rd best deck of the format for our week 0 OP11 preview. For our power rankings is GP Luffy. GP Luffy, nothing has really changed in GP Luffy. I've gone over GP Luffy too much. Pretty much it's Sanji and pudding or bust. If you guys don't see Sanji pudding, you're pretty much just going to lose the game, and that's pretty much just how this deck works in a nutshell. Sanji pudding or bust, and you end off games with the Monkey D Luffy, and you abuse Gum Gum Giant. That's pretty much what this deck consists of. And yeah, when we just take a look at everything else kind of looks the same. I've already talked so much about GP Luffy, we're not going to waste our time. What we can talk about is this card. How do you guys like this Dodgers version of the Monkey D Luffy? Very shy, don't you guys think? So it also tells me too is that when Bandai does these collaborations for these big you know, sports franchises, it doesn't have to be matching the color of the card. For instance, this is GP Luffy and the Dodgers are blue and white, which means any leaders up for a card. So I really do like that. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and get straight into the stats for GP Luffy and go about our day. GP Luffy's third place, playing 1,336 matches. It has won 717 times. It has lost 619 times with an 8.21 rating with a 53.67 win percentage. Very shy, it's my personal opinion. GP Luffy is always going to be good. It's always going to be a top 5 deck probably within the next couple, I feel like, the next couple years, just based off of you know, just this leader ability. And once this leader starts getting power creep, that's how you know we might need to start you know, worrying about this card game, is when this leader starts getting power creep, because this already is a power creep. I remember when this deck first came out and people were just abusing these two. Everybody in the East wanted this ban after week 1. So once we start seeing this gets power creep, it's not gonna look good, fam. It really isn't. Let's go ahead and get straight to our second best deck of our week 0 OP11 preview for our power rankings, and that is none other than UP Luffy. UP Luffy second? Why is UP Luffy second? This is actually crazy. UP Luffy fucking second? This is supposed to be the best deck, and this just shows you how much fraudulent activity is really happening on the sim. There is no way this is fucking second place, and it makes you beg to ask the question, what's number 1? If this is number 2, what is the number 1 deck? I want you guys to pause the video right now. Pause the fucking video and tell me what you guys think the number 1 deck of the format for our week 0 OP11 preview power rankings. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're actually not going to show you the deck. We're actually going to read the stats, then we'll get to the number 1 deck. UP Luffy has played 2,847 matches with 1,444 wins with 1,403 losses, sitting at an 8.33 rating with a 50.72 win rate. UP Luffy is still the number 1 deck. Like I said, take these rankings that you get from the sim with a grain of salt. This is the number 1 deck, and you're going to see how much bullshit the sim got cooking up for our week 0. Tell me below what you guys think the 0, or not the 0, but tell me below what you guys think the number 1 deck is. The number 1 deck is Purple Black Luffy.
You what?
Do you guys believe this shit?
Nope.
Do you guys believe this shit? This has to be the most fraudulent activity I've ever seen in my life. This is the number 1 deck. This is the number 1 deck. There is no shot this is the fucking number 1 deck. I played against this deck with BY Luffy. This deck is free. I'm sorry. I play against this deck with BY Luffy. This deck is literally free for me. I don't know what they're smoking on, and there's no way Beer Luffy is really you know, really propelling this deck over UP Luffy and GP Luffy. So don't, like I said, take all this shit with a grain of salt. Another reason why I'm showing you guys all of these you know, different type of placements, just really to get the deck list out here. But nonetheless, Purple Black Luffy is number 1. Let's read what this Monkey D Luffy does and the stats. We can go about our day. So this is the pretty much the pudding, Sanji pudding of the deck that really propelled this deck to the next level. 6 drop, 7,000 power on play when attacking. Dawn -2. If your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field, your Straw Hat crew type character's base becomes 7,000 power to the end of your opponent's next turn. So pretty much this is a way to really circumvent that UP Luffy matchup. But I'm gonna be real with you, I don't see this being the number 1 deck. There's absolutely fucking no way this is going to consistently outshine UP Luffy. Absolutely no fucking way. But you know, if you guys can cook, and maybe if you guys are Shush Pilot, maybe you guys can think of something out. But when we look at everything else in the deck, there's really nothing else that's new. The only thing else that's new is this Nico Robin right here, just being able to ramp up with adding some Dawn. And yeah, there's nothing really new from this, but this is the number 1 ranked deck for our OP11 preview. Let's go ahead and read its ranking, and then we can go ahead and end this video. Purple Black Luffy is number 1, playing 2,473 matches with 1,334 wins with 1,139 losses, sitting at an 8.45 rating with a 53.94 win percentage. This is your number 1 deck of our OP11 preview week 0 power rankings on the sim, ranked sim. So tell me what you guys think below. I feel like there's a whole bunch of fraudulent activity. There's absolutely no fucking way this deck is better than UP Luffy. So don't believe the bullshit people be feeding you. And until Buggy starts beating or outshining UP Luffy, Buggy is still a fraud in my eyes. All right, that's just what it is. Y'all can't. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. That's what I'm going to believe. It's a fraud. Everybody told me it's going to be S tier deck. Everybody told me the format is saved. Everybody told me this is it's Buggy, UP Luffy, and GP Luffy as the 3 best decks in the format. Absolutely fraudulent behavior, fraudulent feedback, and I can't wait until big tournaments happen so I can make a video roasting everybody. Look, that's all I got. Tell me below how you guys feel about Purple Black Luffy being the #1 deck of our week 0 power rankings. Look, that's all I got, but before I go, if you was feeling the vibes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll go.